Welcome back to the deep dive. Ready to sharpen up those communication tools a bit?
Hope so.
Today, we're cracking open a source that promises to help you really master descriptive language, specifically focusing on how to paint clearer and, more natural pictures when you're talking about people and places.
That's right. We're looking at insights from material that's actually aimed at intermediate English learners.
Okay.
But honestly, the techniques it highlights, they're valuable for pretty much anyone wanting to add a bit more richness, more clarity to their words.
So think of this deep dive as maybe a shortcut, a way to make your descriptions more engaging, more effective.
Exactly. Our mission here is to pull out the really core techniques, the underlying insights from this source material.
Okay, sounds good. So let's unpack what the source sees as essential for describing people. It seems like it's not just, throwing vocabulary at you. It actually structures the process.
And that's the first insight, really. The source breaks it down, focusing on just 3 key areas. That structure itself is, it's a powerful tool, gives you clear buckets to think about.
Right, and those buckets are appearance, how someone looks, personality, how they behave, what they're like inside, and style, what they actually wear. It seems like a pretty simple framework, but why do you think grouping it this way works so well?
Well, I think it moves you beyond just listing 1 or 2 physical things.
Okay.
Considering appearance and personality and style, even if you just touch on each briefly, you immediately create a much more complete impression, a 3-dimensional feel of the person. You're capturing the outward stuff, but also that inner quality. And that's pretty crucial for connecting with whoever you're talking to.
Got it. So it's like a mental checklist.
Yeah.
And the source gives some common words for these areas. For appearance, it's things like tall, short, medium height, slim, overweight, athletic.
Exactly. Plus the hair and skin descriptions like blonde hair, curly hair, black hair, dark skin, fair skin, basic stuff, but useful.
And the examples show how you layer these. She is tall and slim with long black hair, or he has short brown hair and wears glasses.
Yeah. See, they just use a few elements, but you instantly start forming a picture in your head, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Okay, moving to personality. It lists adjectives like friendly, funny, kind, shy, hardworking, lazy, honest, talkative. These shift things from the physical to the behavioral.
And the power there, like the source shows with examples, my friend is very kind and always helps others, or he's funny and makes everyone laugh, is that these words instantly give your listener a feel for how that person might interact, what their energy is like. Personality traits are often what makes someone really memorable,
That's true. And finally, style. What someone wears. The source keeps it pretty straightforward. She usually wears colorful dresses, or he likes casual clothes like jeans and t-shirts.
Yeah, and focusing on style is interesting because it adds another layer. It's visual information again, but it often reflects personality or the situation they're in. It's just a quick way to add detail beyond their basic physical form.
So appearance, personality, style. That's the core framework from the source for describing people.
That's it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. A structured way to build up a description. How does the source suggest we tackle describing places? Is it a similar kind of approach?
It is, actually, which is another useful insight, really using that consistent structural principle. For places, again, it suggests focusing on 3 key aspects.
Okay.
Location, simply, where is it? Appearance, what does it look like? And feeling, how does it make you feel being there?
Location seems pretty straightforward. Near the beach, in the mountains, in the city center. You're just orienting the listener first.
Precisely. You anchor the description in space geographically, but then it gets interesting with the appearance and feeling vocabulary. It lists words like crowded, peaceful, modern, ancient, busy, quiet, beautiful, dirty. Notice how these words often kind of blend the visual with the atmospheric or the emotional response.
I see that.
Yeah.
Some describe what you literally see, like modern, ancient, dirty. But others describe the vibe, the atmosphere, crowded, peaceful, busy, quiet, beautiful. That combination feels important.
It really is. The insight here is that describing a place isn't just listing physical objects. It's about conveying the experience of being there.
Right.
How does it look and how does it make you feel? The source's examples show this blend perfectly. The park is quiet and full of green trees. Quiet is feeling, green trees is appearance.
Okay.
My city is very busy, especially during the day. Busy, that's feeling and appearance, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of both.
And Paris is a beautiful city with many old buildings. Beautiful is the feeling, old buildings is the appearance.
So it's about creating a more immersive sense, not just a static image. That makes a lot of sense. Now, just having the vocabulary and the categories, that can still be tricky sometimes. Does the source offer help on, actually building the sentences?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really practical. It gives you specific sentence structures, templates almost, frameworks to help you immediately put that vocabulary to use effectively.
Okay, give us these templates. What about for describing people?
Okay, so it suggests structures like she looks, he has, they are, I like her style because, or I like his style because. Very direct ways to start a sentence and just plug in the details.
So using that appearance or personality vocabulary, you could take she looks and add friendly. Getting she looks friendly and always smiles. It just gives you a clear path to build the sentence, right?
Exactly. It bypasses that moment where you're thinking, okay, I've got the word friendly, but how do I actually use it? These structures give you the how. And for describing places, the structures are just as helpful. It is located in, the place looks, it feels. One of the best things about it is.
And linking back to the place's framework, you can use the village is located near the river for location.
Yep.
Or the beach feels relaxing and peaceful for the feeling.
Precisely. So the insight isn't just the words or the categories, but it's also how the source provides these simple, repeatable sentence patterns. They're like the scaffolding,
Yeah.
They help you build your descriptive sentences correctly and crucially fluently. That's often a major hurdle this source helps people get over.
That's a great point. It connects the knowing what to the knowing how.
Sure.
Okay, so the source then brings this all together with a couple of simple dialogue examples, just to show it in action.
Right. The first one is just a simple question. What does your teacher look like?
Okay.
And the response uses that people framework.
Yeah.
She is medium height with short blonde hair. That's appearance. Then, adding that vital personality bit, she's very kind and patient. It just shows how a short description, using the categories and sort of implied structures, works immediately in conversation.
Yeah, it's effective. And the second dialogue does the same for places. What's your hometown like?
Yep. Answer, it's a small town near the mountains. Location, bit of appearance there. Then adding the atmosphere. It's very quiet and peaceful.
Simple examples, but they really illustrate the core idea, don't they?
They do. You can create a pretty rich picture with just a few well-chosen details if they're organized well using those categories and straightforward sentence patterns. It's not about being super complex.
It's more about being strategic.
Yeah.
Selection and structure.
Exactly. Strategic selection and structure.
And speaking of well-chosen details, the source does reinforce some key vocabulary in a little summary table.
Yeah, words like slim, meaning thin and fit, friendly, kind, and easy to talk to, crowded full of people, peaceful, calm, and quiet, and stylish, fashionable, having a good sense of style. The reason the source probably highlights these specific words is because they're high frequency, they're versatile adjectives, they're really effective at adding meaningful detail in common situations.
It's a practical reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
That a focused vocabulary, when you combine it with the right structure, can go a surprisingly long way.
It really can. What's fascinating here, looking at the source's whole approach, is how it takes something that can feel, overwhelming, like, describe anything.
Yeah.
And it just breaks it down into manageable steps. The insight, I think, is that effective description isn't just about having a massive word bank. It's about having a system for organizing and actually using the words you do have.
Okay, so to quickly recap the main takeaways from this source, it gives you a clear system for describing people.
Yeah.
Focus on appearance, personality, style. For places. Consider location, appearance, and feeling.
Yep.
And then it provides those sentence structures, those templates, to help you use the vocabulary within these systems.
Yes, and the overarching point, which the source really emphasizes, is simple but, profound, I think. The more details you give, the more interesting your stories and descriptions become.
Absolutely.
Adding detail isn't just like extra flavor, it's functional. It makes your communication clearer, definitely more memorable, and just more engaging overall.
Totally agree. Whether you're, recounting something that happened, sharing an observation, introducing someone new, adding those specific details makes your listener feel like they were right there with you.
Mm-hmm. And the source actually teases its next topic, too, which is how to express feelings and emotions in English.
Oh, interesting.
Which, building on description, adding that emotional language is another really crucial layer for having richer, deeper conversations.
Yeah, that sounds like a natural next step, which actually raises an important question for you, the listener. If consciously adding detail makes our descriptions better, makes our stories more interesting, consider this. How might simply trying to be more precise in your descriptions? How might that not just improve your language skills, but actually change how you observe and understand the world around you in the first place? Something to think about.